Hello guys, back again, and I was actually contemplating making this video, much like I contemplate everything in my life, but I'm not gonna lie, I have been struggling these past few weeks mentally with thoughts controlling me, the negative ones at least. And yeah, I figured since I plan to, and kind of already have, shared quite a bit about my life, that also includes me sharing the personal things about my life to help you guys better understand me. So where do I start? This video is going to be on my Ocpd, which I'll read you guys the definition, and then I'll go on to explain it in my terms. So OCPD is a mental condition in which the person, in this case me, preoccupies themselves with rules, everything being in order, and control. So that's that. Now, we'll start with the beginning and how I even found out I had this. Since I was younger, I was a perfectionist. Wanted to make sure everything was in order, everything was clean. But as I got older, it got a little more serious to the point where it would intervene with a lot of the things I had to do in the day. So, talked to my doctor about it. He sent me to a psychiatrist. By this point I was 16 or 17, 16. Sent me to a psychiatrist, and there I was diagnosed with, I originally thought I had OCD, which is just obsessive-compulsive disorder, but I was diagnosed with obsessive-compulsive personality disorder, based off the things that I was telling her. So I'm just gonna read you guys some quotes that I found after I was diagnosed that made me realize that I for sure had this. Well, this is what I gathered from research. So they're quotes of people explaining what OCPD is and the symptoms and the treatments. Anyways, so one of the quotes was, "A person with OCPD has symptoms of perfectionism that usually begin by early adulthood," which in my case was very true, because like I said, around 10 or 11 I started becoming quite a perfectionist, making sure everything was clean, little things like that. But by the time I was 16 or 17, it started controlling most of my life. I was late to school quite a bit, late to things that I was invited to, and was just so obsessed with being just everything being perfect, everything in my room being perfect, everything about me being perfect. So it just wasn't healthy. And that leads me to this next quote, which is so true to me, that perfectionism that you develop interferes with the person's ability to complete tasks, because my standards, or people with OCPD, our standards are so strict. So that would slow me down quite a bit. It slows me down to this day in getting stuff done. But I've grown tired of almost feeling controlled by it. So I'm making this video as one, so I can open up and you guys can understand me, and two, so it can hopefully be a step in recovery for me, which I going back to what I was talking about, once I got diagnosed, my psychiatrist did give me medication, so I was taking medication for about 6 months, I think, and then I stopped because I convinced myself that the medication was not helping me, when in actuality it kind of was, and maybe I was just in denial that the problems that I had within me were that big. So my next step is going to be to find another psychiatrist and hopefully get on treatment again and start taking talk therapy, or this one therapy called cognitive behavioral therapy, which is what my psychiatrist introduced me to, which is when you have the intrusive thoughts that your OCPD gets to you, like you have to do this or you have to do that, and you challenge it by deciding not to do that. sounds quite simple, but it actually can get quite hard. So anyway, so you ignore it that one time, then you keep doing it and repeating it, and eventually your mind realizes, or you realize that you don't have to let those intrusive thoughts control whatever you're doing. So yeah, that's that. And now I'm going to keep reading a few more quotes that I had found that, like I said, were seemed very personal to me, because I understand what they mean, I guess. So the next quote that I found that was very personal was that people with OCPD withdraw emotionally when not able to control things. And again, that's very true, especially in relationships that I have with people. It sounds kind of sick, but if I don't have a sense of control over situations, I don't know, I just tend to get sometimes become a nasty person, and then try to sound self-righteous, like the way I think is the only way to think and the only way that's right. Obviously that's not true, but yeah. Next thing, it interferes when I don't have control over things. It interferes with problem solving and forming close relationships. So it's self-explanatory. I could have trouble making friends with people if I don't think that their way of doing things is the correct way, because my mind thinks that the way I do things is the absolutely correct way, which again, it's not true. And then this last one, it says OCPD people are hardworking, but their obsession with perfection makes them inefficient. And I can't stress how real that is for me, because I have so much ambition in me and so many things I want to accomplish, but sometimes it gets slowed down because I'm too busy trying to force everything around me and myself to be perfect. So it just becomes a struggle. But yeah, and especially with me wanting to pursue acting and get myself out there, it's sometimes hard because it's some things with acting you have no control over, and it almost makes me feel a little intimidated. But I have to tell myself that I won't always be able to control everything, and that new things shouldn't be scary. You just have to get used to them. But yeah, so even though I do get some things done and I do put myself out there, I could be doing like 50% better. You know, that's okay. I know I'm struggling. At least I've addressed the issue. So I made this video to open up about myself, and so other people can possibly diagnose themselves, or other people. I'm not a doctor, so do your research and see a psychiatrist. But you can kind of tell when you have something. Yeah, so this is my first step in hopefully fully recovering, because I'm not gonna lie, I have been doing a lot better than I was 2 years ago, in some aspects of my life. In other aspects, I'm doing tremendously worse, and that's why I'm here trying to open up and potentially fix the issues that I have within myself. It gets scary for me sometimes, because it's my mind makes me a whole other person that I don't want to become. I want to be so focused on being kind, but sometimes I can be a nasty person because of my OCPD. But yeah, it's the first step in how does it go? The first step in fixing an issue is addressing or accepting the fact that you have an issue, something like that. I don't even know. But yeah, I hope this video made sense. I know it was kind of random and quick, but yeah, this is something very personal to me, especially lately, that I'm trying to overcome. So see you guys in the next video. I hope you guys have a good day, and bye.